Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube. We're fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece.
I'm Dami.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 31st of December, 2020, which means this is the final episode of the year, episode 428.
Hi.
Pink Pearl just came to investigate. Don't worry. She'll be on later because you get one more song of Christmas karaoke with us. Do you remember that
yes.
we do that? Okay. Well, we have a lot to talk about today. Yeah. So unless you have anything, we're going to go ahead and get started. Here we go. Dami, I realized that we were so excited that 2020 is ending and 2021 is starting that we didn't say a big welcome back to all of our returning viewers. We love y'all. And a big hi to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. We were just so excited that the dumpster fire's ending. Fingers crossed.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
Yes.
So I'm still working on Hallie's Bella hat, which is Toilet Eclipse Bella's Slouchy Striped Toque by Amy Thiessen. And I'm using US 7's 4.5 millimeters right now. I'm about to switch to the US 8s. I finished the brim. That's what this is called. And I'm about to start into the regular part of the hat. This yarn is Debbie Bliss Donegal Tweed Aran in the Forest colorway, and I'm about to switch to oatmeal. It's more green. It looks
Greens are hard. Did you figure out how to do the jogless?
Yes, you just knit one row and then slip the first stitch on the next row and then knit the rest.
Gotcha. Dami was like, do you remember? And I was like, no.
How do you carry the yarn?
How do I carry the yarn? I just let it go up the inside. How wide are the stripes?
They vary.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine. I just let it come up the inside.
Oh, wait, I don't switch yet. I don't add in the cream yet. Okay, so I just gotta knit 2 rows.
Okay.
Oh, look, it says how to do the chocolate strips right there from the person I got the pattern from. Anyway, what are you working on?
Okay, well, in my Belle project bag that my friend Mary made for me with the sparkly pink inside, I am working on birthday socks for my bestie Katie's youngest son, Izzy, using my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern you can get at
javapearldesigns.com.
I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and I'm using a ton of colors. 8, I think, total. These stitch markers, I need to fix this. These stitch markers are from Tilting Planet. I will show you momentarily. Just a second. Okay. So I am doing these concurrently on 9-inch needles, Zoom needles. Was it on the podcast last week that I talked about the Zoom needles, or was that during a Vlogmas?
I have no idea. I cannot tell you.
I think it was on a Vlogmas. So let me tell you a funny story right quick. So y'all know that I affectionately call the 9-inch circular needles Zoom needles because you zoom round in circles and it's very fast. And some of y'all also call them Zoom needles. And my friend Julia texted me after Christmas and told me that her husband had just told her that he had been contacting local yarn shops asking for Zoom needles, and they had no clue what he was talking about. And he was like, no, but that's what she calls them. That's what they're called. So we have made it our mission now to tell the knitting world that 9-inch circulars are now called Zoom needles. So y'all can help us in this pursuit because it's very important. Very important that we all acknowledge that 9-inch circulars are called Zoom needles. Okay. It made me laugh so hard when Julia texted me. And I know she cracked up too. Okay, so these are the 8 colors. I'm over halfway to the length I need. I'm not putting heels in these because that way they will last longer for a growing boy. And I am just, other than obviously the toe, I'm knitting 10 rows of a color on one sock and then doing the 10 rows of the same color on the other sock. And then going back and forth. You can see that they look different because some of the yarns are self-striping. So obviously there's going to be some differences in how they look. But they're fine. They're fine. So I'm over halfway done with these. So I'll just keep working on them. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that they are knitting up so fast. Okay, the other thing that I'm working on, which since we have not done FOs yet, you don't know this, I finished my cat vent cowl that I was knitting with my, I was going to say advent calendar, yarn. And I started a second one. So, in my Nerdbird Makery bag, which I adore, I am knitting cat vent cowl number 2. The pattern is the Cat Vent Cowl by Marna Gilligan from Onkatian Biag on US 2.5 3mm needles using Onkatian Dub 4-ply wool darkness advent calendar from Onkatian Biag. And what I did was I wanted to, I'm like, why is the yarn being weird? I wanted to start it at a different point. And I will show you that better when I show you the finished one in the next segment. But I started it at, I believe it was color 23. So that I would have different looks. It'll still be the same yarns in the same order, just started at a different point. So there's the Twitching Whiskers, First Lateral Braid, Cat Sickles Part 1. How gorgeous are these cats with the orange?
Tabby cats.
Cats are here, Part 1, and then another lateral braid. And today, I believe, is Tabby Stripes, Part 1, using still the same color from the lateral braid. And I think this color is the other one that goes with it. So, I am making progress on that. I'm still just doing a clue a day. And I will tell you more about why I'm doing a second one in the next segment, which I do believe we're ready to move on to.
Now I'm going to talk about her finished projects. 3
of them. First up, here is the Cat Vent Cowl. It's the same information I just told you last segment. So I did do it with a twist in it. So
it's upside down.
Not. Oh yeah, it is.
Kitties.
Sorry. Here we go. Fixed it.
Kitties.
Sorry. I think it's because I was looking right here on the inside, which the kitties look upside down on the inside now because of how it's made. So there's an optional twist in the tail that you can put at the end. So the Advent calendar came with 20-gram mini skeins. The most of any one color that this used was 7 grams. So there was more than enough yarn to make another one. There's actually enough yarn to make a third one if I wanted to. But what I decided was I'm actually going to send this to my bestie Katie because she's a fellow cat lover, and I'm going to knit a second one for me. So I wanted let's see, where is it at? This beautiful pink. I wanted it to be part of the kitties. So that's why I adjusted the order that it came in. And here is where I modified the pattern at the end, where I used color 25 to do an additional set of cats. Because the pattern only called for 24 colors. So there it is. I love it. It actually all told took, I think it was like 106 grams of yarn. So, yeah. It would be a great stash buster, like if you have a bunch of leftovers from like socks or something. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, the most it took for any one clue for me was 7 grams. Mm-hmm. And most of them were smaller than that, were like around 5-ish. So, I love how this turned out. I blocked it.
Kitty cat.
It's very cozy, and it's got the cute kitties.
So they are watching you.
I don't know if I'm going to put the twist in mine. I may just leave it straight so that I could like rotate it and wear it with different parts of the pattern evident. Mm-hmm. So.
I like how the yarn went in rainbow order.
It did. It totally did, which is why I kept the yarn in the same order. For the second one that I'm knitting, I just started with a different, well, like you can, let's open this back up. So you can see the cats that I did right here, they were the very first color in this one. So I just adjusted them, and we'll be going in the same color order, just a different starting point. So, yeah. I love the pattern. It was very easy to follow. It was definitely doable, the clues, to be able to do them daily. It did not, there was not a single day where I like struggled to make sure I was going to get the clue in. Yeah. It was surprising to me how long the lateral braids took, because you would think with it being just a 2-row thing that they would be fast. They're not, because you're working like each stitch, I think, like 3 times. So that did take a little bit longer, but I love how this turned out. I love the yarn. It was definitely well worth getting the advent calendar to do this. And the kitties are upside down again. There we go. I highly recommend the pattern. It's very, very cute. And I know Katie's going to love it. And it's going to be fun to have matching cowls, even though they're going to be a little bit different. So there is that. And then the other 2 things I finished were my final 2 preemie hats for the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is 51 and this is 52. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on our site.
JavaProDesigns.com.
There you go. On US 6's 4mm needles. Number 51 here uses Knitology Glowing Worsted in the Pachyderm colorway. And Barocco Vintage DK in the black colorway. And then number 52 used Vidlana Ambient Worsted in the Dawn Blush colorway. And Karen Simply Soft in the Gray Heather colorway. And I did the color changing ribbing on it just for fun. Just for funsies. And that makes 52 finished preemie hats in 2020. And do not fear, I am doing it again in 2021. So there'll be another 52 preemie hats next year. So I'm very excited about that. It's fun to have accomplished that goal. 52 projects finished just in preemie hats.
That's a lot.
That is very much a lot. And I'm tired as a mother. So, okay, well, I think that is everything for this segment. So let's move on to the next one. And now it's time for FlossTube.
I don't have anything.
Okay. So, for me, first up in my Tilting Planet bag, I love this bag, is my, getting it, Baba Black Sheep by the Prairie Schooler. Pattern was a gift from Michelle Bindi Stitchy. I just hit the tray where my coffee is sitting. And last time I showed you this, this is where I was at. And here's where I'm at today. This is on 18 count Ada, dyed pink by Erin the 2 Martini Stitcher. I am so close to being done. I just need to fill in the last of this and some up here on the head, and then it will be finished. I tried to finish it in my last Stitch With Me, and it just didn't happen. But it will be done on Stitch With Me that I record this weekend. And then I will be starting, also a gift from Michelle Bindi Stitchy, Cat in Heart. So, almost there. Almost there, living on a prayer. Almost there. Second up is a project I haven't worked on in a while. In my project bag from Stitching the High Notes, I am working on Hello Pumpkin by Stitching with the Housewives. Although I am modifying it and using a jack-o'-lantern colorway for the orange pumpkins, and so they're not going to have the white areas in it because I really wanted to use the jack-o'-lantern. Last time I showed you this is where I was at 2 months ago. And here is where I'm at now. I just got a few more rows done on the cup. I had to frog about 50 stitches because I can't count, apparently.
Oh.
So, but there's where we're at. Yeah, I love how this jack-o'-lantern color is turning. Let's see, it is Weeks jack-o'-lantern. And then the big pumpkin will be out of the same. So there is that. This project is on my Whip Go board for 2021, and I'm going to talk more about that in Yummies. About what Whip Go is and all of that, and goals for next year. And finally, in my Outlander to Better to Sleep project bag from Stitch Toolbox, we have another project that is on my Whip Go board for next year. Cats and Mandalas February by Kitty and Me Designs, Pamela Kellogg. This is a very, very late birthday present for Dammy's 21st birthday. Last time I showed you this is where I was at. Oh, this needle minder is from Gecko Rouge, and I'm using Snippities by Catty Cross Stitches in all these projects. This is where I'm at now. So I finished that last full motif right there. So now I just have a half motif over here on this side. And I actually stopped working on this so that I can finish it for Whip Go starting tomorrow. So
if I wanted to weave in this tail, would I drape it across like that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. You do up and down.
What does that mean?
Like, so on the next stitch it needs to go, your tail needs to go up. No. Uno momento.
Hi.
Where's the tail? So you
Be careful because I didn't knit that first stitch.
You stick your needle in, you make it go up. Is this in the green?
No.
Oh, in the cream. You knit that stitch, and then on the next stitch you make it go down before you knit the stitch. So you have to put your needle in and then do it before you wrap.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm so smart.
So I will be finishing this, maybe even for next week's episode. It just depends. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, and then I need to get a hoop and everything so that I can finish it for you to be able to display somewhere on your wall.
My future home is going to be full of so many hoops on my wall.
Yeah.
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 That's how I want to decorate.
Very cool. Okay, so that is the 3 projects I worked on this week for cross stitch. There is cross stitch content in Yummies because, well, I've got my Black Needle Society, the rest of it, but I'm going to do a 2020 wrap up and goals for 2021. So please stick around because I'm going to talk about Whip Go, which is a fun challenge that you can kind of make your own for the new year. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies.
I have very tight tension, so that's why I'm struggling.
Ah, well, then you're doing it on plastic needles too, which makes it harder to slide.
I think these are plastic.
That's plastic.
It's very metal sounding plastic.
I think it's plastic. Who knows? Yummies. So I've already shown you the rest of the yarn that came in my Katiana Biag advent calendar. That was very lovely. Really enjoyed that. I have 2 more things to show you from the Black Needle Society Nice List box. On the 24th, we got this gorgeous, gorgeous mug that was exclusive artwork by Tracy Horner of Ink Circles. Can you see that the star is made up of needles? And then all the outside is the thread. Very cool. Do not microwave. Do not microwave.
It'll explode.
Probably. Probably. And then the final thing we got, if you had the 25-day box, is this.
That's very pretty.
Gorgeousness. This is a Garin Toten Bags bag. Gary and Ronnie created these project bags to use all winter. This is the reason they had to limit the number of boxes they could sell for the 25 because there was only a certain amount of bags could be made.
Oh.
So, it's these beautiful winter birds. And it's Velcro, and inside are these cranberries. And we also got a cute keychain from them. But it's lovely, lovely, lovely. I really enjoyed having this Advent box from Black Needle Society, and you will be seeing more boxes from them coming my way. Both ones that I've purchased, as well as I'm getting a free box because I'm a VIP. Stay tuned for the end of the podcast where I give you my coupon code that you can use. Okay. Next up, we got a sweet little package from Tracy. She sent us this Christmas card. I want to show you, though. It's so cute because inside she has stamped the cats, Eddie and Lucy. And she sent us these beautiful cross-stitch like bookmarks or ornaments for the tree or whatever, as well as these cute little needle minders, a mitten and a penguin. So, thank you so much, Tracy. That was so lovely to open the mail and find that. A Christmas miracle happened.
Oh.
My Gidge box from Creativity by Gidge, my Color Street box, set for
Christmas.
I can't remember, like 14, 15 days not moving. And then Christmas Eve, it arrived. It was a miracle. So Amy sent me this cute little pink pouch, which you can never have too many little pouches like that. And she always writes the sweetest notes. Dang it. I dropped one. And of course, it's the one that I don't have on. She always writes the sweetest notes. And she also sent a little accent nail in the Home Sweet Home. And she chose for me this month Holiday Delight, which is what I have on. So they're these cute Christmas lights. And she also chose for me Pink Warrior. So those are very, very pretty. And so I was so glad that, because we were worried like that the parcel had gotten lost, she had a handful that had just kind of didn't move. And then they moved from Arizona to Texas randomly, which was in the total wrong direction. So, but thank you, Amy. I'll put a link in the show notes to where you can shop with Amy for Color Street. Okay, I want to talk about wrapping up 2020 and goals for 2021. In my Love You More Studios sleeve, I have my Happy Planner, Happy Notes kitty cat. My friend Rochelle sent me this sticker for Christmas in my Christmas card. Make something you'll feel better. So I use this to track my crafting. So in 2020, I completed 90 projects. That's a lot. 52 of them obviously were preemie hats. I had an It's You I Like cross stitch, a pair of slippers, my Quaker pumpkin, I finished it. I finished my countdown to Christmas. There's a pair of socks, another pair of slippers, the Mill Hill Kitty ornament, the second Pushing Kitty, a very Hildy Yule, the first Pushing Kitty, another pair of socks, It's Spring Fever, that's the one that I cross-stitched for my mama, another pair of socks, the Let's Stay Home, that one is so pretty. I've got to figure out how to finish that one on the yellow fabric. Another pair of socks, Delivering the Coffee Beans, a small cross-stitch for a swap, Olga, that I finished on the mason jar, another pair of socks, Hildy's Brew, another pair of socks, a shawl, slippers, socks, Hildy Strawberry Patch, slippers, Pushing Kitty number 3, my Christmas list, socks, the one day one that I love how I finished that one. It's up in my window. A cowl, socks, the RBG freebie that Michelle Bindi Stitchy designed, socks, my Sinister Catian, and my Cat Fink cowl. So I feel like I did pretty good this year. There are, like if I had been able to finish Dammy's birthday cross stitch, if I'd been able to finish the Baba Black Sheep, but I feel like I accomplished quite a bit this year. Especially since I also started working on my Edinburgh Castle this year. So for 2021, I bought these trackers from S. Ward Designs, and you can like put the project name, designer, the fabric, your start date, and then you can highlight your days that you work on it. which I had been doing just one that I had made myself to do that. So this has 2021 and 2022 on it. Let me show you the back side of it. So it's just got 2022 on the back with a place where you can put your floss or conversions or whatever. I don't make one of those project tractors for preemie hats. I just have a list of the preemie hats and what yarn I used and when I finished it. But my goal for 2021, I was like, I really don't want to count stitches, which is why I kind of had dropped out of some of the challenges on Facebook, because I didn't want to count stitches. So when Michelle Bendy Stitchy mentioned this whip go, I was like, oh wait, that might be something I could do. So what I've done is I've created my whip go board, and each square is a project, and we get a free square. And then each month, 2 numbers are drawn, and that's when you can mark them off of your whip go. When you complete your goal and the number's drawn, you can mark it off. So like I can work on other things, and if I finish them, I can make a note that I met the goal, and then I have to wait till the number's drawn before I can mark it off to make a bingo. Some people do rewards like associated with finishing a box or getting a bingo. It's up to you. What I chose to put on my whip go for this next year is Edinburgh Castle is on there 12 times, and each time is 500 stitches. The only reason I put stitches is because I use the Pattern Keeper app on the Kindle Fire, and it counts the stitches for me. So I want to try to get 500 stitches per month on Edinburgh Castle. And then I have to finish Dammy's Cat and Mandala. I have to finish Hello Pumpkin. For the Cat in Heart that I do during my Stitch With Me videos, it's on there twice, and my goal is to work on it on 4 Stitch With Me videos each time. I want to start and work for 5 days on Winter Witches, and I have that on there twice, 5 days each time. I have Hildy's Hayride to start and work on it 5 days twice. To do the Helianthus pattern, which is a sunflower pattern that I got from Ink Circles, it's on there twice to do 5 days each time. And then the last one is the Cats Love Christmas set that Lindy Stitches released this year. It may not take me 5 days to do one of them, but then I can start the second one or the third one. So I have it on there twice to do 5 days each time. And then knitting wise, my goals are going to be, of course, the 52 preemie hats. And then I think I'm going to just kind of take it easy on myself and maybe just do socks. Try to maybe do a pair of socks a month. So we shall see. I mean, I'm sure there'll be other things that I end up throwing in there. But yeah, just take it easy on myself and do the best I can do. And each stitch is progress. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at for 2021. Do you have any goals for 21?
To craft when I feel like it.
There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. We'd love to hear what your goals are, if you have any. Feel free to comment in the Facebook group or on the YouTube video. We'd love to hear what you're planning for 2021. Do we have anything else for Yummies?
Don't think so.
Oh, you didn't wear your headband today, but Dammy and I got in our Christmas stockings another headband from Fable Bands. Mine's Gilmore Girls' I Smell Snow. And Dammy's is...
Land, Witch, and Wardrobe.
Do you remember what the quote is on there?
The C.S. Lewis quote about fairy tales.
I just realized I forgot to show this. This was one of the last things in the Ankatian Biag advent calendar. It's a stitch marker on wood. Thank you, Pink, for showing me that. I had forgotten.
I'm just going to step on your stuff.
I know, you're trying to step on my stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
You going to come over here with me? Well, hello. Hi. Do you want to talk about GGK Crafty Pad, Pinky? Do you know what it is?
It's a crafty photo a day challenge. She doesn't want to talk about it. Oh my gosh. It's a crafty photo a day challenge that we do every month. So we have a list of photo prompts for each month. So take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Yes, and we've released our January calendar, which is all about New Year and 2021. Please don't be a dumpster fire. So what are we about to show them, Dammy?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Welcome to photos. Great job, everybody! Yay!
I want to make a clap or applause.
Yay! So it's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Do you know today's prompt?
No?
Is it new? It is new. You take a picture related to that. You interpret it however you wish. We're very cheater friendly on this. You post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGKCrappyPad because that's how we find your photos. If you have a private account, you need to make sure that damisdoodles is following you. Otherwise, we can't see your photos. So just send Dammy a message and they'll follow you. And then yours might get chosen to be featured in the podcast, in the show notes, and social media. Okay, Pinky. Anything else for Yummies?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
What are you reading, Dammy?
The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
And you're about to be diving back into your 15 minutes a day every day?
Yeah.
Because school, yay, starts Tuesday.
Yay.
What classes are you taking?
Dramaturgy, Intro to Sociology, Faith, Philosophy, and Science, and Choir. Over Zoom.
Yeah, are all your classes over Zoom?
I assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What am I referencing with the 15 minutes a day every day?
The October, November, December 2020 read along.
Wow. By the time this goes live, I will have locked the thread. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. It doesn't matter I don't care what you're reading as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. So starting next week, we're going to go back to the schedule of Dammy is on the podcast every other week. And then I'll be doing an abbreviated version of the podcast in the off weeks. It finished airdropping the videos. Great job. So we will not be announcing the winners of the October, November, December ebook and pattern giveaway for 2 weeks, as well as we will be announcing the winners of the year-long challenge 3 grand prizes for 2 weeks.
Savvy.
It's all right. You'll be okay. All good. But we are excited to announce that we are continuing the RAL in 2021. All the details are in the show notes. I've already set up the thread for January, February, March in the Facebook group, as well as a chatter thread. So if you have questions, you can ask there. It's going to be the same as it was this year, 15 minutes a day, every day. And if you read all 365 days of 2021, you'll earn 10 bonus entries into the grand prize drawings at the beginning of 2022. And then also we're going to do the bonus entries for the Modern Mrs. Darcy challenge again. For 2021, she is kind of doing a choose your own adventure. So you will need to pick, I've linked in the show notes to her blog post with all the details, but you'll need to pick your own 12 prompts. And you have to read a book for every prompt. So you have to do all 12 of the prompts you choose in order to get your 12 bonus entries. So it's all or none. There's like a page of like suggested prompts or prompts that she's used over the previous years. And some of those are like 3 books by the same author. So in that case, that would count as 1 prompt, but 3 books. So that would count as 3 of your 12 books. So you have to read 12 books total and make them fit whatever prompts you choose. And then we won't post the thread for your Modern Mrs. Darcy entries until December 2021. So just keep track of them, and then December 21 will open that thread so you can post and get your bonus entries. We're using a hashtag again if you want to share like what you're reading on social media. It's hashtag GGKRAL21. If you have any questions or anything for any of that, feel free to send us a message or post in the chatter thread in the Facebook group. Okay, let me tell you what I read this week. I finished reading the book for my LGBTQ Faith Book Club, which is for allies as well as people who identify that way. And for December, we read Outside the Lines, How Embracing Queerness Will Transform Your Faith by Mihi Kim Court. We had our book club Zoom on Monday night. Unfortunately, Mihi had something happen last minute and she wasn't able to join us, but we still had a really, really good discussion and I really enjoyed it. I have not started the book for January yet. I keep hoping that the Kindle version is going to go on sale, and it has not. We're going to be reading Transforming the Bible and the Lives of Transgender Christians by Austin Hartke. So, yeah, so I will be starting to read that in the next few days. I'm still continuing my reread of the Harry Potter series. This week, though, they didn't do a chapter on the Swish and Flick podcast that I'm rereading along with. They had just a bonus special episode. So no chapter this week. And I also didn't listen to Harry Potter and the Sacred Text because there was not a special episode for that. So, but I will be continuing with that. I think we have like some more, I want to say it's like 6 or 7 or 8 more chapters to go. So it depends on if Swish and Flick continues to break them up into 2-part episodes when we'll finish that book. But I'm continuing to read that. I finished reading The City in the Middle of the Night by Charlie Jane Anders, which I talked about in last week's episode. I'm reading the Kitty Norville series by Carrie Vaughn. I finished book 2, Kitty Goes to Washington, book 3, Kitty Takes a Holiday, and book 4, Kitty and the Silver Bullet. This is a werewolf vampire series. There is some adult content. And unfortunately, somebody else has book 5, and I'm having to wait for it to become available so that I can continue reading. And then I read a couple of books recommended by my friend Faith, Faithfully Geeky. She has a BookTube channel, and she's a bookseller at a indie bookshop, and so she tends to read things that I enjoy reading. So I read How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams, and again, adult content in this, and it's about a woman who doesn't feel like she's good at flirting, and she meets her friends challenge her and push her to go to a bar, and they were supposed to meet up with her, and then things happened, and that kind of story. And then the other one I read was Girl Unframed by Deb Khalidi, and this is about a teenage girl who, her mom is like a movie star, and the teenage girl like goes to school up here in the Seattle area, and then like in the summer she goes back to California to live with her mom, but there's something going on with her mom's boyfriend, and like there's this whole like, something has happened because like at the beginning of each chapter it's saying like this evidence was presented in the court case. So something has happened, but you're not sure what happened. And then, but also interwoven in that is kind of the coming of age of the teenage girl, and dating and sex and, all those things. So, I wouldn't say this would be for a younger reader, like a younger YA reader, but high school age, definitely. And then I started reading The Searcher by Tana French. And this is set in Ireland, and it's a retired police detective from, I want to say Chicago, but that might not be right, who has gone through a divorce and decides that he wants to get away from it all, and so he buys this house and property in a very small town in Ireland, and it's like falling down, and he has to all this work, but there's this mysterious person coming around, and he can't figure out what's going on, and he ends up being caught up within a missing person situation and all the secrets of this small town. So, there's that. Do you want to talk about the first thing that we watched while I drink some water?
Sure, we watched the Polar Express on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
As we always do.
Tradition. We also binge watched all 4 of the Indiana Jones movies because you can't watch just the first 3, even though the 4th is so out there. You have to watch all 4. And apparently there's a 5th one coming. Like in 2022, maybe? So, you want to talk about the other thing?
We also watched Wonder Woman 1984.
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty okay. It was very long.
It was long. I think it felt like it was much longer than it needed to be.
Very long.
It was like,
yeah.
like 2.5 hours, maybe?
Yeah.
So, I really enjoyed, like, the beginning part where we're getting some of Diana's younger history. Mm-hmm. So, we finished rewatching Monk. I'm sad it's over. It was a very, very good show. And so since we finished rewatching Monk, we needed something new to watch, so we started rewatching Stargate SG-1.
Something new.
We needed something new to watch, so we're rewatching an old show, Stargate SG-1, which has long been a favorite of ours, and it's funny to go back and watch the beginning stuff. I don't know if we're going to do the thing where we did the last rewatch where we interspersed Atlantis. Mm-hmm. We may just do SG-1. I've also been watching episodes of House Hunters and House Hunters International because, sometimes you just need that. I finished rewatching season 1 of A Discovery of Witches because season 2 starts early in the new year, and I'm very excited for it. Next, which was the show about the AI that was trying to take over, it got canceled. So I watched the last 3 episodes. They did finish it. It had a conclusion, but it could have spun into to another season. But, with the COVID, it happens. We watched the Call the Midwife Christmas special. Tears as always. And we're watching season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. I'm excited for the Doctor Who New Year's special tomorrow. And then listening to my favorite murder podcast. This week I was telling Dammy a few minutes ago, one of the things that we talked about was Lizzie Borden. Random Spotify playlists. What about you?
Kevin Pressure, random Spotify playlists.
There you go. That's what we've been reading, watching, and listening to. So let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about our December, January, February.
Walking in a winter wonderland. Do-do-do-do.
Ow. So this started on the 1st of December, runs to the 28th of February. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to winter. If you can't think of anything you made in the winter.
Yes.
There are a couple rules, as there are with all our owls. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of December, then finished no later than the 28th of February. And each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single photo and a single comment in the Facebook FO thread, and that will count as one entry. You can feel free to polydip and other alongs as long as it fits in with their rules. That's totally fine. Google form.
Yeah, if you want to make sure that you receive a prize that you actually will enjoy using, please make sure to fill out our Google form. Links are in the show notes and in the Facebook group.
We've got lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors. We'll talk about these more in the first podcast of the month that we're both on. So 2 weeks from now. So yeah, you must be a member of the GGKCS podcast group on Facebook in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you want to post on social media, GGKCS Winter 2021. The FO thread will be locked for comments the morning of the 1st of March, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And all winners always have 30 days to claim their prize, or they forfeit. There's also a chatter thread in the Facebook group if you want to chat. And the people who finished projects in the past week are Andrea, Emily R., Jane S., Lisa S.H., Silver, and Tracy.
Great job, everybody. Well, you have 2 months to get your projects finished and posted. We have over 100 projects that were finished in December, which is awesome. So keep working on those projects, get them posted, and you might be a winner. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeks, the part of our show where you ask us questions and we try to answer them. This week's question is, was originally asked and answered in 2016. Carolyn asks, I notice in the sock patterns that I've purchased from you that you use a twisted rib. Is there a specific reason you chose that type of rib?
Because I like how it looks. That's why. I actually just pulled off the sock that I'm wearing. How pretty. I love the crispness of the twisted rib in a sock. That's the only reason, is I just love how it looks. I feel like it just gives a really pretty definition, and almost always I do a 1x1 rib knit. So knit one through the back loop, purl one is probably 99% of the time what kind of rib we do on socks. I just like how it looks. That's the only reason. You can always substitute it with something else if you don't like the look of a twisted rib, or if you want to do a 2x2 or a 2x2 twisted rib. There's all kinds of options. So you do you, and yeah, that's the only reason. So, but thanks for asking. That's a good question, because I don't think I ever say in patterns, oh, this is why I chose it. So I just like how it looks. You do. All right. Thank you so much for the question, Carolyn. If somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeks thread in our Facebook group and post it, or put it in the YouTube comments.
That's right. Okay, let's move on to the next segment. Made it to the end of the show! And to the end of 2020! Okay, announcements. Stay tuned after the credits for our final Christmas karaoke of 2020. Okay, Dammy's going back to, as Pink calls it, Skull. That's from Winnie the Pooh, just in case. You know, they were upset because Christopher Robin had to leave and go to Skull. So, we jokingly call that's where Dammy's going. Their school schedule means we have to change recording days. So, during the winter quarter, we will be recording on Wednesdays, and the episodes will go live on Thursdays. So, and like I said earlier, Dammy will be on only every other week. So next week you'll get just me with an abbreviated version of the podcast. And then the next week Dammy will be on and we'll do the full version. And that's when we'll announce the RAL winners for 2020. So, thanks for understanding. You know, we just have to go with what happens. We don't have any control over what days your classes are. So we have to just go with what happens. As I mentioned in Yummies, I am a Black Needle Society VIP, which means I have a discount code for y'all. It is all capital letters, Java Pearl 5. It will give you a discount on your first box of box-to-box subscriptions. The 6 and 12-month boxes already have a discount built in, and it's not valid on special edition boxes. All the details and links are in the show notes. We'd like to say a humongous thank you to every single one of y'all who support the podcast. Watching us is supporting, and we're so grateful for you. There are so many podcasts and FlossTubes out there, so we are so appreciative that you take your time to watch us. We love y'all so much. But an especially big thank you to those of you who support us financially. I was talking with Michelle Benistucci the other day about this. You know, we don't do the podcast trying to make money. Really, all of your donations go right back into the podcast to ship prizes, to get technology that we need, things like that. So we're really grateful that if you are able to and want to support us financially, we want to give you several options for how you can do that. So the first two are Patreon and YouTube Join, which are ways that you can support your favorite creatives, as well as earn rewards or perks based on the level you donate at. Dammy, if somebody wants to know more or wants to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/GGKCS, or click the join button under any of our YouTube videos.
Yes, what's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
We are bookshop.org affiliates. It's an online bookstore with a mission to financially support local independent bookstores. If you purchase a book from our shop, we earn a commission, and local independent bookstores also earn money from your purchase. Bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS. And we are also Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you go to our site before you shop, click on the appropriate Amazon in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, then do your shopping as normal. We'll earn a little money based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Mm-hmm. Something I don't think we mention very often is we're also affiliates on YouTube, ad affiliates. So whenever you watch ads associated, like before or after our episodes when they pop up, we do earn like minuscule pennies on that, but it adds up over the course of the year. So that is another way. Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at GGKCS.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We wish you a happy and healthy 2021. Please, please, please remember to continue wearing your masks. I saw that President-elect Biden was challenging everyone for the first 100 days of his presidency to make sure and wear a mask daily. So, vaccines are out there, but not everybody has access to them yet. So continue to do your part to keep yourself and those you love and people you just run into at the store or wherever healthy and safe. So wear your masks. Yeah, and until we see you again, happy crafting, and we'll talk to you again soon. Happy 2021. Bye.
Bye. Oh, wow!
Okay. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Look at this beautiful New Year's baby. Can you say bye-bye 2020, hello 2021? It gonna be good year. That's right.